What's up everyone, we are the Group 4 and for today's video discussion, we are going to tackle about the illuminating and magnifying to flora living creatures on Earth. Maybe some of you are asking about what is flora, what are the importance of flora, what does flora need to survive, why we need to study flora. Does flora benefits us? Well, in this video, all your questions will be answered. All you have to do is just sit back, relax, listen, and learn.
So we're going to discuss what is invasive species. Invasive species are animals or plants that have arrived from a different part of the world and unable to adapt to their new surroundings. Ship ballast water, unintentional discharge, or individuals are the most common methods of introduction. Plants and animals indigenous to an area may go extinct as a result of invasive species.
Before we start, we should identify what is flora. Flora is the term used to refer to the plants that are growing within that region. A flora is used to identify the plants within a specific region and is given scientific names most of the time where it also includes their common name. This enables the botanist and scientist to identify what plants are growing within that region and enable them to organize the data about the plants. The data could then be used to identify the growth or decline of the plant biodiversity within a flora. As humans, we also depend and rely on floras for our food and survival needs. We become consumers and users of the plants growing within the region that we inhabit. Our use of natural resources has increased over the years, causing rapid depletion of resources coming from floras. This causes adverse anthropogenic effects on the environment, which harms the plants within the flora and the animals that are also consumers of the plants. Overconsumption becomes an issue with the biodiversity of the region's flora because humans consume the plants faster than their reproduction rate, thus causing a decline in their numbers. The biogeochemical cycles of nitrogen and sulfur cycle also become affected by the anthropogenic effects of humans on the environment. This plays a huge role in the plant's and its capacity to thrive and reproduce. The use of fossil fuels and the production of fertilizers have adverse impacts on the nitrogen cycle in the environment. Plants utilize nitrogen for growth and development, which enables them to thrive and reproduce. Although the plants utilize nitrogen, an excessive amount of nitrogen also causes a nutrient imbalance, which leads to poor health among trees that results in the decline in plant biodiversity. This alteration of nitrogen within the ecosystem becomes harmful to the plants and their well-being. With this, too much nitrogen in the ecosystem does more damage than good to the flora. Now we have here the adverse anthropogenic effect of humans on the sulfur cycle. This causes an increase in the sulfur in the environment. The use of fossil fuels and the burning of coal causes a release of sulfur dioxide that increases the amount of sulfur in the atmosphere and the environment. This becomes harmful to the plants because the burning of coal releases hydrogen sulfide into the atmosphere, which comes down in the form of acid rain. Acid rain then harms the plants by removing the nutrients and minerals from the soil that are essential to the plants and trees that are growing in the environment. With this, the sulfur dioxide becomes harmful to the plants by damaging them and depriving them of the nutrients and minerals that they need in order to grow.
What is epigenetics? In plants, epigenetics control based on histone modifications and DNA methylations is responsible for variations in the expressions of stress-responsive genes, allowing adaptation to varied conditions. Memory defensive responses are controlled by epigenetic mechanisms. Plants, for example, it may not show significant changes in defensive qualities during a herbivore attack, but it may respond more forcefully and quickly when they are subjected to a subsequent herbivore invasion. Memory may persist for generations. Surprisingly, epigenetic regulations is also crucial to the airborne signals described above. Soybean plants exposed to mint volatiles may maintain defense genes promotes in their leaves up to 8 days. Furthermore, HIPV exposed maize plants have been demonstrated to demethylate the upstream promoter of the trypsin inhibitor gene, resulting a suitable temporal lag for priming the gene's expression in recipient plants. So what is the good effect of epigenetics in flora? The good thing is speeding up the flowering and fruiting of the plant, and the second is in agriculture it can help plants to grow faster. So the bad effects of epigenetics in flora is plants face abiotic and biotic stress and also nutritional deficiencies.
My key takeaway from this is that our lifestyle does make our life much easier, but at the cost of our environment's well-being. The knowledge about the impact of fossil fuels on the environment has deepened my understanding of its adverse effects on the environment and how it serves as a domino effect, where using fossil fuels does create a problem that also leads to another problem. The lesson has taught me that in order to help save the environment, we must cut significantly our carbon emissions in order to create a much bigger impact on the environment. With this, we must become advocates of the environment, change our lifestyle, and at the same time, urge bigger corporations to do their part in saving the environment.
So the things that I've learned in flora is that the plants naturally occurring in a particular area. Some examples of flora include grasslands, forests, flowering and non-flowering plants, and trees. And also, since plants display the food source for many animals and also for us humans, flora is vital for all advanced life forms of our planet. Without plants, our whole food chain would collapse and most of our animals and also the human species would become extinct. That's all.